Instead of that big condo or that 3-bedroom house that everyone seems to want, for those who are mobile and on the go, an RV has all the same amenities, and you can take it with you. Keep the focus on the victims. Yes, Dalton appeared in court today. Yes, we are going to learn a lot more about this case in the coming days, but the focus should never be off of those who are taken far too early. Go home tonight, hold your loved ones, make sure that they know how you feel about them, because if there's anything good to come out of this, it's that we can all now look to those who are lost to teach us that life is a very fragile thing, and that's what we want to make sure our viewers keep the focus on. If you've ever been to Wrigley Field, you know that it's a great place to watch the game outside of the stadium. You're not in the game, but you still get that great game time atmosphere. Here's something interesting. United Kingdom scientists have been given the go-ahead now to carry out a treatment that will make it possible for babies to be made from 3 different parents. Of course, this is through in vitro fertilization.
You got to meet someone who hasn't been shy about his love for the Red Wings, right?
Yeah, Uncle Joey. Uncle Joe, cut it out. We got to meet Dave Coulier. He's, of course, from the east side of the state and a well-known Red Wings. He promised he would have it that day, Michelle. I got to tell you, I cannot imagine the family's frustration having to deal with all of this for just so long now. It all started back in December, originally, when Melinda Gutierrez of Muskegon tried to buy a car from that seller on Craigslist. When we first met up with her, Melinda warned me that if we tracked down that seller, and we did, he would give us excuse after excuse. That's what he did to her, and that is what he's doing to us now. It's frustrating, and it's a tale that certainly left Melinda's family in a very tight spot.
What's the matter?
Last week, we brought you the story of Melinda Gutierrez, the young Muskegon mother who fell victim to a Craigslist crook.
Just seeing that one, I fell in love with it.
The seller of this Chrysler, the ad for which has since been removed from the site, turned out to be 32-year-old Justin Langland. He took her money. The deal was $800 plus Melinda's old car as a trade-in, but she never got that car.
You know, I would text him and nothing. I would call, nothing. So I'm like, yeah, he really ripped me off.
So Melinda filed suit against Justin in small claims court and won, but still no payment. After we posed as potential buyers ourselves, hey, Justin. Our interest led us to Justin, where we confronted him only briefly. And I wanted to talk to you about some money that you actually owe some people because of this car. You know, you owe people $800.
What is this?
This is the news, man. What are you doing? Where are you going, Justin? After our meetup, Justin got in touch with us, saying he wanted to make it right. But when we gave him his options explained to us by Muskegon court officials, one excuse followed another. First, we arranged a meeting between Justin and Melinda in the safety of the courthouse parking lot. Justin didn't want to do that, citing an unpaid ticket from the courthouse lot. Then Justin agreed to send a money order. That was last Monday. He told us it would be there on Thursday, but Thursday arrived and no money. After we asked him what happened, he told us he put the wrong address on the order, but we knew he had a copy of Melinda's license from the original exchange with her address on it. And take a look at this text between the two of them last week. Melinda explicitly gives Justin her address. After our story aired, we received emails from others who say they've been taken advantage by Justin in the past. One email directed us to this home in Wyoming. No response. It seems the guy who wanted to do the right thing just a week ago can't seem to do anything at all to make this situation right. And just to reiterate from our original story, Justin does have 2 criminal fraud charges on his past record, so this, it would appear, is pretty typical behavior for him. We're going to keep you updated and let you know when, not if, but when Melinda gets her money back. Live in the studio, Doug Reardon, Fox 17 News. One of the big questions a lot of people are probably going to have when marijuana starts hitting the streets in Michigan are, what are the places that sell it, the dispensaries, actually going to look like? We're inside of one right now, and it's probably not what you expected. It looks similar to a waiting room. They even have apparel and menu boards similar to something you'd see at your favorite restaurant.
It's really not as scary as it's been perceived to be.
When marijuana sales begin in Michigan, it could look something like this. And as Kim Casey, communications director for Native Roots, walked us around one of their 20 Colorado stores, she noted safety is the name of the dispensary game.
Hi, how are you? You have to come to a check-in, which is where they will check your ID.
After checking in, customers are led into a locked sales room behind key-coded doors. Only staff can buzz people in.
There's a tremendous amount of focus on safety, on following protocol, on following the rules and regulations.
And
in Colorado, it is being run as a business.
A focus on customer service.
We have so many people who are exploring this for the first time, who come in and don't really understand or know what they're looking for.
Although there's no mandated state employee training, Kim says reputable shops like Native Roots will extensively train their workers in-house.
We believe not only that it's important for them to understand their products, understand the rules and regulations, but also be well-versed in general cannabis knowledge.
Even though there's THC in it, it's not going to get you high.
Bud tenders, as they're aptly called in Colorado, like Joshua Walker, say you don't need to be an expert. That's what he's here for.
I'm going to kind of see where their knowledge of cannabis is first and see whether they're more interested in something to smoke, something to eat, or something to vape. You have to go a little bit more above and beyond for the customer because some people are, again, like you said, kind of a little bit drawn back by it or intimidated by the experience.
Dispensaries didn't pop up overnight, and they won't either in Michigan.
We've worked hard to get this right and to take a good government approach to it.
Dr. Ashley Kilroy oversees the Denver Department of Excise and Licensing, in charge of marijuana policy in the city.
You have to remain nimble. You have to remain quick and able to assess what's going on and change and pivot when you need to.
For Denver, their law mandated sales within a year of passage. Michigan didn't spell that out, so what Dr. Kilroy recommends is getting an early jump on research.
Really is important for Michigan to start collecting data now. Are more people driving high before or after legalization? Are more people consuming publicly before or after legalization? Are more kids being suspended for marijuana use at school before or after legalization?
And she says expect to see some new hands on deck at the city level.
Our licensing department had obviously a lot of licensing issues and new people to license. We had new inspectors that had to go out. We had a lot of new construction going on.
As for whether or not we could see a Native Roots location in Michigan soon?
As of right now, I don't know.
And at the end of each night, any product containing any sort of cannabis product is put here in this vault, locked away for the night, to be brought back out the next morning. This door, which leads to the vault, also has keypad access for staff only, and that is a state regulation, guys. In Denver, Doug Reardon, Fox 17 News. Guys, I had a very emotional talk with the family of Damon Phillips this morning. They told me, aside from being a really good kid, he was also a very gifted swimmer. So they're a bit confused as to all this. But no matter what the investigation ultimately shows, the thing they're focusing on most heavily right now is grieving the loss of young life.
I'm not leaving this community until someone tell me what happened to my child.
Terry Phillips, the mother of drowning victim Damon Phillips, staying strong but emotional Wednesday, walking out of the Grand Rapids Police Department.
I wouldn't wish this on no mother.
She and her family finding out yesterday that their 21-year-old son, nephew, and cousin had passed away after police say he and others jumped the fence at Richmond Park Pool early Tuesday morning.
He was a great kid. I mean, I know we all families say that about their family member, but he was.
They say Phillips, a Detroit native who came to study video game design at Grand Rapids Community College in 2014, was an excellent swimmer.
My child was an all-around, complete athlete, so I don't know how this could have happened. I don't know how this could have happened.
Police are delicately poring over evidence, not ruling out any possibility while they await autopsy results. In the meantime, the family grieves.
He was a good person, a good spirit. He ain't mess with nobody.
My nephew did not deserve this. If it was an accident, then we have to live with that.
It's about the way he died. That's all I want. I just want answers. And that's all I want is answers.
And police have been working on this. This isn't something they've just pushed away as an accident. They actually interviewed two people who were on that pool deck with Phillips on the morning that he died, but with no cameras at Richmond Park to capture any video of what happened. They say this is going to be a long, possibly a very difficult investigation. Live in the newsroom, Doug Reardon, Fox 17 News. A story about humanity. Pizza is always good, but everyone has their favorite place, right? It's probably a bit too much to describe pizza as life-changing, even though some people do. But in this story of an above-and-beyond delivery, life-changing might be an understatement. A question for pizza lovers. If it was your last pie, ever, where would you order from? For couple Julie Morgan and her husband Rich, the answer has always been Steve's in Battle Creek, says her dad.
Whenever they ever got a paycheck, they would go over to Steve's Pizza because they just loved his pizza.
But over 20 years ago, the couple moved and the order stopped. But Steve's never faded from their memories or their taste buds. So recently, the couple planned a trip back to the Mitten and to Steve's when the unexpected struck.
And they were so thrilled to do that. Thought it would be a great reminiscence, good memory. And instead, what they wound up doing was going to the ER at the hospital, and Rich's diagnosis was that of severe cancer.
As Rich prepared to go into hospice, some 200 miles away at Steve's, 18-year-old Dalton Schaefer was cleaning up and closing down when the phone rang, with David on the other end of the line.
He said that his family was thinking about coming up and grabbing pizza and things like that, but due to the circumstances, they weren't able to do that.
So that night, minutes away from breaking free of work, Dalton made an odd suggestion.
I offered to bring pizza to them.
And he did. While the Morgans slept, unaware of what was coming their way, Dalton made the 3-hour-plus drive across state lines for a pizza shop that doesn't even deliver.
I went out and met him when he pulled up about 2:30 and got out of his car and acted like he was just delivering pizza. You know, he says, well, here's your pizza, and he opened them up, said, here it is, pepperoni, mushroom.
The family came up, gave me a hug, everything like that, and it was cool. You know, their expressions on their face and everything like that, it was really cool.
It was Dalton's first delivery and perhaps Rich Morgan's last Steve's Pizza, but it was certainly no burden.
Anybody that's watching is just to keep them in mind and pray for them, and I hope the best for them, and I hope the Lord gives them comfort.
And Dalton, he'll bring the pizza. Wow, there you go.